What the hell?
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 Hello, everybody, and welcome to What the Hell Should I Watch? The weekly rundown of what we're watching, which may become what you're watching. Released every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time on stevestebbing.ca, and got a kind of a mixed bag of stuff this week. What would seem like a slower week actually had some interesting stuff for me to watch, including a Canadian film that impressed A24 enough that they picked it up, and a pirate film that's streaming right now. We really honestly don't get enough pirate films, and a horror film led by a dog, and the bestest boy that you've ever seen, to be honest. And Chloe visits the Manosphere for I'm sure a whole house of horrors there. But let's just get started. So, right, fresh for your eyeballs, and this is Canadian horror. It was made for, I believe, $500,000. In its first weekend, it earned 9.7 or 8.7 or something like that. It did pretty well for itself. It's not found footage, but it involves podcasting, which is very near and dear to my heart. This one is called Undertone.
The host of a popular paranormal podcast becomes haunted by terrifying recordings mysteriously sent her way. Starring Nina Kiri and Adam DeMarco. Written and directed by Ian Twasson.
So yeah, podcasting. This is a horror film built around the thing that I've been doing for, 15 years at this point. Obviously it's going to be something that I gravitate towards. And honestly, I hadn't watched a trailer for this one beforehand. I just kind of got the synopsis for it and went from there. And basically you have a Believe It or Not podcast. Our main character is your skeptic, and she is staying at her mom's place. Her mom's basically terminally ill, bedridden, almost comatose, and hasn't eaten in days. You find out as the film progresses, but she has her counterpart voiced by Adam DeMarco, who is over Zoom, and he's the guy that presents everything. He gets an email that is just basically says LOL as the title subject line.
Okay.
And then just a bunch of backward words in the actual body of the email, then 10 audio files. So they start to go through these audio files, which kind of starts with a sleep talking, basically evidence. Husband and wife, the wife sleep talking, so he's recording her to, show her that she's talking in the night. And then it just kind of goes from there, and it really plays the line of what she's hearing in her headphones on the tape, on the recordings, and what maybe actually sounds coming from in the house and stuff like that. Like, it really, remember, you saw Invisible Man, right?
Yeah.
You know how they keep panning over to parts of the room and there's nothing there? Like, it's just almost for effect. Lee Winnell's kind of like letting the camera drift.
Yeah.
Undertone does a lot of that, where it's kind of it's letting the picture drift. Your main character sitting at the table is kind of in the corner of the screen, and you're seeing more of the dark house and everything. And it causes you to hyperfixate, to try to focus in, to try to scan the darkness, all those kind of things. And some, like, as the film progresses, you get kind of rewarded in that sense. Because the things on the tape starts to correlate with things going on in her mom's house and stuff. And her mom starts to exhibit behavior where she thinks her mom's talking or getting up out of bed or, basically being animated. But every time she goes there, it's the same position, same stark, open mouth, raspy breathing, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it takes a lot. Like, I'm not going to go out there and be like, I was scared in this movie, because it takes a lot to get us now. We've seen so much, but I think this movie is definitely chilling. It is definitely one of those films you'll think about afterwards.
Okay.
It resonates. I think I probably want to give it another watch. And I know a complaint that you have is jump scares with sound just for the sake of it. And I will say there is one sound spike scare in this film, but it makes sense. It's not gimmicky. It's not just to catch you off guard. Like, there is a thought process behind this. And I honestly think theaters are the best place to see this film, because it is, especially the final moments of the film definitely have the great atmosphere that only a theater could bring. And Ian Towson, I think that's his name. He is an interesting filmmaker, to say the least, and I am excited for whatever he's going to do next. It's kind of like over the last bit with Dream Eater and this film, we've gotten some really great horror almost out of nowhere for me that actually feels like it left a mark. So if you're a horror person, Undertone is a must-see film, and it's definitely in my top 5 of 2026 right now.
Nice.
All right, let's move on to a film that I actually just took in the other night, and it's been out for a little bit in a limited release, and a very mysterious film at its core. This one's kind of about nomadic drifters in life. This is called Islands.
Tom, a tennis pro, washed up on a holiday island. Now he's the coach at a hotel resort, hitting countless balls over the net to tourists. When he crosses paths with a particular tourist family, it seems he's found an escape of his own. Starring Sam Riley, Stacey Martin, and Jack Farthing. Written and directed by Jan Ole Gerster.
How badly did you want to say Jack Farthing?
I actually had to make a conscious effort.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Like, stop. Not do it like by accident.
Yeah. Jack Farthing.
No.
This is kind of an interesting film in a mystery that is kind of not really forthcoming with the character development. You're just kind of thrown onto Sam Riley's character's path. The beginning of the movie, he literally wakes up in a desert, jumps in a truck, and heads into like this resort town where he basically stays at this resort and teaches tennis, like just like a burnout tennis player, and just listlessly helping tourist after tourist, lobbing balls at them until he gets a little kind of infatuation with this young mother and her son, and the dad is just kind of this aloof piece of shit that's kind of smarmy, and then all of a sudden, like after like a night bender where the two of them go out together, he just the husband just disappears. So now the local authorities think that there might be some foul play involved, and that's where the mystery starts to deepen. But it's just enough for his character to be like knocked around a bit, to be like, maybe I should get back to some point, some sort of a normal life. But Sam Riley is solid. He's a solid actor. I've enjoyed him since Control. Movie came out in like 06 or 05. It was like a biopic about Ian Curtis, who was the lead singer of Joy Division, who ended up committing suicide. And then the band went on to form New Order. But I enjoy him as an actor. It's beautifully shot. To get nerdy for a second, it was done by Juan Sarmiento G, who I've actually already talked about on this show because he shot the voice of Hind Rajab, which was nominated for an Academy Award on this past weekend, but it did not win. His next film is actually Kuthar Ben Hania's new film, who did Hind Rajab. Her new film is called Mimesis, and there's no release date for it yet, but he's shot that one. And it has like a great cinemascope on the resort life, but it also kind of makes it look kind of hollow and desolate at the same time. It's almost like he has found himself in some sort of purgatory, that he's
Okay.
placed himself in some sort of purgatory, and that's kind of how this film kind of plays off, as he's just kind of listlessly going through life, hitting the club, grabbing random tourists, betting them, going back to work. Like it's just a repetition to it until these people come along. So well done in the character mystery, and actually really highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's like 95 fresh or something like that, so like certified fresh, so pretty good. And yeah, from a director that I know none of their work beforehand, so very cool stuff. Let's move on to a film that comes from the great catalog of Well Go USA. Good friends of this podcast. I've reviewed many a film and regaled Chloe with many reviews of Asian cinema in the time that we've spent together. And here's another one. This one's called Rescue at Donji.
In 1942, Japanese ship Lisbon Maru with British POWs was torpedoed. Donji fishermen saved 300 plus British soldiers and protected 3 during Japanese searches. Starring Zhu Yilong, Wu Lei, and Nini. Directed by Guan Hu and Fei Zhenqiang.
Especially Nini.
Nini.
Especially
Nini.
Nini, who is apparently a big star in China. Nini's a big star. But this is like a Chinese epic. Like they definitely spent a lot of money on this film, and it comes through in the effects big time because it's pretty clean in this film. Unfortunately, the script is, I don't know, is just a bit wishy-washy and a bit sparkly for me, and corny at times.
I swear all these reviews are the same. It's always, oh, it's way too polished, it's way too look at China and dramatic, like soap operatic.
Well, and this one adds an extra factor to it, because you know how American military films have that jingoistic quality to it, where it's like rah American flag waving, everything like that. This one is jingoistic towards China.
Okay.
And I mean, if you knowing my World War II history and everything, I do know that the Japanese were the villains and were like occupying China and brutally killing a lot of them. Like I do know that. But there's just something so mustache twirly about this film. So over like these are the Nazis, you know what I mean? Like to the level that they brought the Nazis, this is how the Japanese characters are, like in their, you know, their yellowish green uniforms and everything with the sabers and all that kind of stuff. Like there is just a lot of the big bad versus the downtrodden, and then of course the downtrodden prevail and save their village and all that kind of stuff. And you could just tell the influence of American filmmaking when it comes to boosting morale of a country and everything. You could kind of feel that within this film. And there are some really, really great action sequences. Like they do not skimp in
There
that kind of
always
stuff.
is,
Yeah. And it looks really, really good. Like I said, the polish on this film is excellent. There's a couple of white English actors in this one who are terrible. They are terrible. I don't know if that was the direction they were given, because it's essentially a British ship that sinks that they're trying to save right in the beginning of the film, and I don't know if it was on purpose, but they are really, really, really bad. The two brothers are okay as leading characters. Nobody's safe. It feels like they introduce characters and then they just get blown away. It's very interesting in that regard. But yeah, just some of the storytelling is just a little much. So I had my issues, but I enjoyed it for the most part. Let's get nerdy here. One of the directors, Ha Guan, actually directed a film called Black Dog. It played VIFF the first year you went. It was one we were going to see, and then we didn't end up going that day. We skipped out on it, but I ended up catching up with it later, and it was actually really, really solid. A great film. And a very much, compared to this film, way scaled back drama, like way scaled back. The score for this one sounds like a Norwegian, Atle Orvarson did the score for this one, and he's actually done a bunch of American international films as well, because he did both the Hitman's Bodyguard films, Hitman's Bodyguard and Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Boom. There we go. Also a film, I don't know if you ever saw this one, with Gemma Arterton and Jeremy Renner, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. Did that film.
I don't remember if I saw it, but I know what it is.
The Edge of 17 with Haley Steinfeld, which is a fantastic film. And Rams, a Norwegian film that is really, really, really freaking good. Also did the score for an Apple TV Plus show called Silo. Does the music for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched a few episodes of that.
I like it. It's cool.
It wasn't what I was expecting it to be, so.
Yeah, it's cool. I like the whole, like, we've been living underground for years and years and years, to the point that, like, society's progressed in different ways. Also, he's got a cushy job. Once you land these jobs in television, in American television, American network television, you're kind of set, because he does the music for all the Chicago shows, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. Does all the music for that, as well as the FBI shows. So there's FBI with Missy Peregrine, FBI International, and FBI Most Wanted. Does all of those ones. Once you land those jobs, residuals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all good. And I always have to include a Nick Cage movie. Orvarson did the score for Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman.
Okay.
Times. The film was shot by Wisse Gao, who shot Black Dog as well. And I heavily implore people to check out Black Dog. It is an underseen and fantastic little film. Well worth your time. All right. Now to move on to something slightly traumatizing, but it's on Blu-ray. It's right on the Blue this week. And not only is this one on Blu-ray, you can also stream it right now on Shudder. And it's just a quick little hour and 15 minutes of your time. And I think it's kind of worth it. But this is about the bestest boy. This is about Indy. This one's Good Boy.
A loyal dog moves to a rural family home with his owner, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves most. Starring Indy, Shane Jensen, Ariel Friedman, and Larry Fessenden. Written and directed by Ben Leonberg.
And Indy is Ben's dog.
Okay.
And this is a film that he shot in 400 days over the time of 3 years to make this film because, well, Indy's a dog and not a trained actor. So just kind of using his good behavior to make this film, his cooperative behavior to make this film. And it's really astounding. Because Indy, it feels like he's acting. It feels like he's reacting to shadows. It feels like his wines are all in the right place. Like it's so fascinating. Like this might be one of the top animal performances I've ever seen. And I mean, the movie itself, if Indy is a human being or a kid or anything like that, it's a story we've been there for. You know what I mean? Like somebody in that you're in your house with is slowly being possessed by something. We've seen this time and time again in horror films all the time, especially supernatural horror. Like that's just kind of the trope. But to see it through a dog's eyes, I feel is very effective and has some genuine chills to this film and some really like heartbreaking moments, because at the heart of this whole story, as his owner is slowly kind of breaking down and lashing out and everything, is the breakdown of the relationship between man and his best friend. Like it's really interesting in that regard. And Brett Leonberg, I mean, to have the ambition to think to make of a movie like this is really kind of crazy. And I will say, even at an hour and 15 minutes, it does kind of find a way to a little bit wear out its welcome. It does feel a little bit long in the tooth, but I honestly thought it was such a compelling story. It just could have been tightened up a bit. And it didn't, it wasn't like egregious. Like this could have been a YouTube film like that Strays movie was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I heard a lot of hype about this, especially coming out of festivals and everything. Everyone was talking about this film. India's already won an acting award, I believe the Saturn Award. Went to Indy, so good for him. Good boy. But just really, really, really dug this film. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any interest in this one?
I do. Yeah, I do. I just haven't gotten around to it. And actually, funnily enough, but like right before the show today, it's paused on my living room TV right now. I was watching Cujo from '83.
Oh, nice. Yes, with Dee
Yeah.
Wallace.
Yeah,
It's a
the
great film.
opposite of a good boy.
That's a great film, though. Cujo
Yeah,
was a good boy before he got bit.
He was.
By Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Well, that's all linked.
Well, yeah. We were reading some trivia about it actually earlier, and there is some linking to like Cujo being kind of influenced by someone's shine, and that's why he doesn't act like a regular like rabid animal, and that's why he's like intelligent about it. Yeah,
it's more of like an evil that's kind of like enhanced him.
Yeah,
to a certain degree. Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's a cool movie. So you're not done it yet, though.
No, I've seen it before. Like I've seen it multiple times. Just watching it again. Another thing that I just want to say though is that like I had to look up like if they were actually like scaring the kid in order to get these reactions out of him. No, like this kid is just that good at what he does. Like I was really surprised, and he was 6 or 7 at the time of filming, but he looks like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, Daniel Hugh Kelly. But yeah, I highly recommend Good Boy, especially if you're an animal lover. I think that this is a winning combination, and it'll be interesting to see what's next from this filmmaker. All right, let's move on to something you can stream right now. Yes, Carl Urban as a bad guy in a pirate film. That's all you needed to tell me. Because they don't, and besides the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, they don't make pirates movies anymore. So when I saw this one pop up, I was going to watch it. This is The Bluff.
A Caribbean woman gets her secret past revealed when her island is invaded by vicious buccaneers. Starring Priyanka Chopra, Carl Urban, Ismael Cruz Cordova, Sophia Oakley Green, and Tamara Morrison. Written and directed by Frank E. Flowers. Available on Prime Video.
So, I mean, did you know this movie existed?
I think I did. I think I scrolled past it and I was like, is that Carl Urban? And then it was, yep, that's Carl Urban, and then
Yeah.
moved on. I don't know, maybe it just didn't click for me, like what was going on here. But
So yeah, basically Priyanka Chopra is living on an island with a daughter, and her husband is not on the island with her, but they used to be pirates. Essentially, he's still pirating, gets captured by Carl Urban, who they all used to work with and rob people with. And
is this modern
no,
day?
no.
Okay.
This is in pirate times.
Okay.
So he takes, her husband and goes to the island to get back what's his that she's been hanging on to. And basically this huge massive fight, they storm the island, everything, pirate action. Like, it's all really simple, easy writing stuff, and it's just kind of entertainment. It's dumb and entertaining. I can even be okay with Priyanka Chopra. I don't think she's the strongest actress at all, but she doesn't need to be a strong actress in this. You just need to believe that she was once a pirate, and I think you kind of can. There's easily she can be an Indian pirate. I'm totally into it. The thing that I thought was really cool with this movie is some of the weaponry. There is some really cool, like, automatic weapons. It's just basically like a revolver with a clip that's like a square at the top, and it moves through like that. Like, that's how you would load it. All the musket stuff I think is cool. She has like brass knuckles that has like a short range gun at the top, so when she punches people, she shoots. It's like so cool looking, and
it's like steampunk pirates.
Well, I should have done the research and looked into it and see if some of these weapons are actually real. They look like they could be, like a knuckle duster that has a musket shot in it. Why not, right? I mean, these are small caliber bullets, probably, if anything, like 22 small stuff. So it's easy. It could be possible that they had these kind of short range weapons, but I don't know. I thought it was really cool. That was kind of one of the selling factors for me. But I mean, at the end of it all, it's a dumb action movie. It's a pirate movie, and it's better than Cut Through Island. Do you ever know about that one?
I don't think so.
Got Gina Davis and Matthew Modine. It was made by Gina Davis's husband at the time, Rennie Harlin. And you would know Rennie Harlin because he did the Strangers trilogy. New one.
Yeah. That's not helping.
No, but he's got a shark movie coming out soon. So
yeah. We talked
Deep
about
Water.
That.
Yeah. So we'll see. Let's get nerdy here. Frank E. Flowers, besides having like a really great Hollywood director name, he actually wrote the biopic Bob Marley, One Love, that came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
The film was co-written with Flowers by Joe Ballerini, who wrote My Little Pony, the movie, the recent one with like Kristen Bell and Sia and all those people. Do you know about that movie?
I feel like I saw some people talking about it, but I'm not in the My Little Pony circles.
No. So. I brought Hannah to it. We saw it in theaters. The score for this one, done by a guy that you've guaranteed seen his name over the last 25 years. His name is Henry Jackman. And besides doing a lot of work with Matthew Vaughn and the Russo brothers, he also did the score for Kong Skull Island.
Okay.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
And This Is the End.
Okay.
As well as the alternate dimension series, The Man in the High Castle, which was actually shot in Vancouver. And speaking of shooting, it was shot by Greg Baldy, who did the Chris Hemsworth sequel Extraction 2 on Netflix, which is Those movies are fun. They're dumb as
Yeah.
well, but they're absolutely fun. Chris Hemsworth. There's some scenes in Extraction 2 where I'm like nail biting, like like we're on top of the building at the end. I was like, oh my god, so cool. But yeah, The Bluff. I mean, it's there. I can't like recommend it. Go out of your way to watch it, but it's pirate action, and that's honestly what got me at the end of it. Alrighty, let's see what I added to my library this week. It's right, new to the library, and sometimes on the list of things to order, I come across movies that I've never heard of, but I see an actor that sparks me to want to see it. So one of these films was Jack and Sarah. This film stars Richard E. Grant. The reason that I checked it out, and Samantha Mathis is actually in this film as well. And this is a British film. A lot of British actors, even Ian McKellen in a supporting role. A younger Ian McKellen, not young Ian McKellen, but a younger Ian McKellen. And it's actually interesting because Samantha Mathis did this movie to leave the US and work in the UK for a little bit, to escape the press after the paparazzi after River Phoenix died, which was her boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
So she was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here because the paparazzi are nuts. And guess what? They haven't changed. But yeah, I saw this and I really, really wanted to watch it. So I'll bring it to the show at a later date once I've seen it and give it a thorough review. I also got a couple of TV shows in their entirety, and I'm pretty pumped about it because the first one on Blu-ray is Cobra Kai complete series, all 6 seasons in one box set. Being a Karate Kid youth, I mean, the first movie came out 85, so I've been 4 years old. So 1, 2, and 3 are like in my formative years when it comes to film. So of course I love those characters, and there is that love that continued into Cobra Kai. I've talked about this on the show before multiple times of how great the show is, and now to have it all and rewatch it all, I'm pretty excited about that. Also, I got one from Warner Brothers that I have never actually watched any of before, and it's a lawyer show. It's a lawyer procedural show. It's called The Closer with Kira Sedgwick, which is Kevin Bacon's wife. And I mean, this is a show that she did this was almost the whole majority of her TV career was The Closer. And like an iconic role that I never got to check out. Also, because I believe it was on the USA Network, and I don't think we got that. I think it had to have aired somewhere else, and I never checked it out. So now I can go through every season of that. It's only available on DVD and only available in Canada. So that was kind of cool to get that one. But yeah, a lot of TV and a drama I've never seen before.
But
dropping off the butts.
A truckload of butts. 2 butts. It's a pretty empty truck.
Just 2 butts. Yeah.
All right. Let's start with the Manosphere, I guess, because that's kind of my headliner this week.
Louis Theroux's Inside the Manosphere.
Yeah. I'm gonna admit I'm not the one who put this on the TV. That was Julius. I just look up and I see Sneak on my TV and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the hell did you put on? And yeah, it's a documentary about the Manosphere led by Louis Theroux. He also
was great. I love Louis.
He had a part in exposing Jimmy Savile. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. Jimmy Savile, which is who Sir Jimmy Crystal in 28 Years Later Bone Temple is based on.
Yes. I still love that. It's just great. Which is hilarious because HB, I think, is one of the influencers that he interviews a lot throughout this. It's like he's the most reoccurring one, and he keeps accusing Louis of being best friends with Jimmy. And then Louis like, well, no, I helped expose him, and just gets ignored. And it's just, oh, he's best friends with them. Look, everybody. He's like live streaming like basically the whole thing. And he's like, oh, we got Jimmy's best friend over here. And it's just stupid. It's just so stupid. There's also a part in it where they tend to set up like fake honeypots, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
For people that they accuse of being child predators. And then they meet with them in a public space and then just kick the shit out of them. Like they just
yeah.
beat them up. And it focuses a lot on why these men have decided to become influencers in this sphere, and the running theme for all of them was that they either lacked or had a very poor father figure, which I think is very interesting, because they're trying to model this hyper masculinity for other young men, but then also deny that their main audience is teen boys. You can't have it both ways.
No.
So yeah, and
I saw some stuff like Myron Gaines is on the,
that's yeah.
and now Myron Gaines apparently is firing back, saying that Louis Theroux lied and that the stuff with the girlfriend was embellished and all this kind of stuff. And
they broke up right after filming. His girlfriend left him right after filming, because a big thing that Myron likes to hark on is how they're in a one-sided monogamous relationship where he gets to go and do whatever he wants with anybody,
and she has to be monogamous.
She has to be completely monogamous to him. And then Louis brought that up like in front of her, and like so many of the things that Louis brings up, it's like so uncomfortable, but it's also like this needs to be brought up, and I want to hear the answers. Because right after Myron tells him about this one-sided monogamy, Louis asks if his girlfriend can come over and if like he can talk to her. So they're sitting there together, and then he just asks like, how do you feel about the one-sided monogamy? And then immediately eyes to the floor, like sad. Like you can see it on her face that it's something that she's extremely uncomfortable with. And because also Myron brings up the idea of having another wife in the future, and she quite obviously doesn't like that, but she can't say anything because she's basically a slave. She's been beaten down mentally by this guy to just accept whatever he says, because he's taught her that women are worthless and women should bow down to men because they have nothing to offer themselves. And it's heartbreaking a lot of the time throughout this documentary, and also just frustrating because nobody learns shit. Like,
of course not.
Nothing changes. Even the existence of the documentary itself, I don't think it's going to open a lot of people's eyes, if any. Because of course I enjoyed it and I agree with it because I already agree with what Louis is saying. I'm already against the manosphere.
Yeah, and you've seen some of the manosphere stuff. Like
I've seen how it influences people in my life. I've seen how it influences society as a whole, and it's sickening, honestly.
It's part of what's wrong with the world right now.
Yeah, but these influencers tout themselves as being the ones who've brought in this new world order, this new social structure, and they think it's for the better. And it's just so unbelievably frustrating. And One thing that I will say, but this is just me, and I know the reason why this didn't happen, but I feel like the documentary doesn't go hard enough. But I know the reason why it doesn't is because it is trying to change minds. So if it's just attack, 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 that's going to turn people away from it instead of towards it.
Mm-hmm. Are the Tates in it at all?
They're, I think at the time of filming, they were still
in Romania,
in Romania, in jail. And then now they're like
in the States,
they're like about to like be killed by some other country, like legally.
Oh, right. Yeah. They're in Saudi Arabia, aren't they?
Yeah. They're going to get like beheaded or something. But he does talk about them and shows clips from them. Okay. And then he's also talking to people like on the street who were like, oh, they're my role models. And one of the guys that he talks to, he just sits there like this the whole time. And then Louis is like, what are you doing with your hands? Because I see that the Tate brothers do that all the time in every video that they're in, every photo they're in, they're always doing that. And it never gets answered. He's all he says is, I idolize them.
Ugh.
So you just follow whatever the hell they do without thinking on your own at all. And another thing is that specific guy used to be homeless. He used to be living in his car before he found out about the Tate brothers and all these other guys. So that's the thing, is that these influencers prey on vulnerable men, young or not. If a man is in a man or a boy is in a vulnerable space, they are the prime target. They are the prime victim. And it's so saddening because falling for this accomplishes the opposite of what they want. What these men want is to be welcomed into society. They want to find their place in society. They want to find somebody to be with, but being part of these circles will alienate them even farther from that. Mm-hmm. And it makes them dig their heels in even more because they look around them and they see that everybody's pulling away from them and they think, hey, they don't like me because I'm a man. They don't like me because I'm trying to improve myself. They don't like me because I'm not successful enough, when that's not the case, and it's never the case.
Brutal.
All right, moving on. On the lighter side, I saw Clue today from the 70s.
Classic 80s. It's from the 80s.
80s. Okay, I thought it was from the 70s.
85.
Okay. Regardless, I saw the Family Guy two-parter that was making fun of this. I think released in 2009, and then there were fewer. I didn't really know what it was referencing. I mean, I was 9 at the time. Mm-hmm. And then I clued in into what they were talking about, but I never actually saw the movie. So I have seen it now, and I wasn't actually expecting it to be part comedy or largely comedy.
Yeah, it is largely comedy, and it's so funny. That is an ensemble cast. It's not a weak member. I mean, starting at the top with Tim Curry. Yeah. Just Christopher Lloyd, Martin Mull, Madeline Kahn. I mean, it's just an incredible who's who of actors that just deliver. Where did you watch it?
Prime.
Does it have multiple endings on it?
Yes.
Okay. So it has all the endings then.
Yeah, because I thought that it was ending and then it was like, but what if this happened?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
In theaters, they would show different ones. They wouldn't show all of them in theaters. They would show different ones.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So there was multiple endings, right? So they would show in different cities. Cool. They would show a different one. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a way to get more ticket sales.
Absolutely. And it's just a fun watch too. Like it'd be a fun theater watch. I'd love to see it at something like the Rio or something, because I think and they have screened it there before, because it just has that atmosphere to it. And it was a board game adaptation way before all of this IP commercialization bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised how good it was just for that fact
Mhm.
because we don't get good ones of any type of game adaptation, like movie type thing. Um, yeah, I mean, my favorites, of course, were Christopher Lloyd and
Mhm.
Tim Curry. Tim Curry is just like the cream
Mhm.
in this. Like he's like the cherry on top. Um, the maid was just ridiculous to me. Just this like crazy over sexualized French maid.
I love that relationship so much.
Yeah, it's fun. I feel like an infant watching it now for the first time.
There's going to be
Um,
way more that make you feel like that.
yeah.
But the point is now that you're seeing these films,
Yes.
you're enriching it, you're adding to your film vocabulary through it.
Yes.
So it's happening. All righty. So before we get out of here, I got a few reminders. That's right. This week's reminders. First up, Sydney Sweeney's. I guess it was a hit now. The second one is coming through. The Housemaid is out on 4K. Looks like we're franchising this bitch. Amanda Seyfried's really great. She is really great in this film, and I
Hmm.
adore Amanda Seyfried. But I gave this one a full review on the January 2nd episode of the show, so you can go back and check it there. Also out this week on 4K, and not only is there a 4K, but there's also a really gorgeous steelbook for this one if you can find it, because steelbooks rule. Anaconda is out with Jack Black and Paul Rudd and Tandy Newton and Steve Zahn. I found this movie to be a whole hell of a lot of fun, and I also reviewed this one on the January 2nd episode, so you can check my thoughts out there. On 4K as well this week is This Thing On from director Bradley Cooper. Will Arnett doing a true story, kind of based on a true story of a guy going through a divorce down on his luck who just walks into an open mic comedy set and finds some catharsis there. I reviewed this one on the January 16th episode, so check it out there. Also out on 4K and a really, really beautiful steelbook for this one as well. Probably the only thing worth getting about this film, because it is Return to Silent Hill is out. Yeah, that steelbook is really pretty. I really wish the film in it was good. But I gave it a full thrashing on the January 30th episode of the podcast. And also on Blu-ray, I have my copy, thanks to Allied and Movie Zing, is Merrily We Roll Along. Yes, I went out and got a musical on Blu-ray. What the hell is the matter with me? I'm getting changed. But it's because Daniel Radcliffe's in it and he's so damn good. But I gave this one a full review on the December 5th episode of the podcast. All right, so that brings us to a close for this week. But what are we going to talk about next week? Next week is going to be killer, I think. I'm calling it now that it's going to be a killer episode, because kicking it all off is the Andy Weir adaptation by Lord and Miller, starring Ryan Gosling. It is Project Hail Mary. This movie looks awesome. I am really excited about it. All of the reviews I'm hearing about it right now is this is like a defining space movie. So I am so here for this. I think Gosling is a bona fide movie star that can carry anything, it feels like.
Yeah.
So very excited for that. Speaking of excited, Ready or Not 2, here I come. How do you capitalize on a madcap original film that was Ready or Not. That film completely knocked me over and absolutely surprised me. Samara Weaving is an ultimate scream queen of our modern era right now, and this time she brings along Catherine Newton as her sister, and Elijah Wood and Sarah Michelle Gellar are hunting her down this time. What? Kevin Durant's in this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about
I'm
it.
very excited.
I'm
Yeah.
all about this one. Very, very excited for this one. Also, from the French filmmakers that made the animated film, The Triplets of Bellevue, they have a new film called A Magnificent Life that Mongrel Media is putting out. So I have a timed screener to watch that one. So looking forward to that. Haven't really heard anything about it. Also, and I'm making my way through all the episodes. I'm going to crush a few more tonight, but Disney afforded me the opportunity to watch the new season of Daredevil Born Again. And oh my God, is it good? There is a bullseye scene that kicks off episode 3 that is some of the coolest shit I've ever seen in a Marvel television show, or maybe a Marvel movie as well. It is so damn cool. So look forward to that. Also, hopefully I'll get around to Man on the Run and Pillion. I'm really trying. This is my Bridget Jones Mad About the Boy of this year, we'll call it. But that brings us to a close here. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Blue Sky at the Stevel Dead.
You can find me on Letterboxd at HoneyBunChloe.
You can also find all of the episodes for this show on stevestebbing.ca or go to the YouTube page and please like and subscribe. You can also find us on shiftheads.ca. You can hear me a few different places. First, on After the Credits with Marina, Bill, and Melissa. You can find those episodes at atcpod.ca. You can also hear me on Tremble, the Horror Podcast with Kurt and Taylor. You can find those episodes at 3angrynerds.com. And you can also hear me now on Kelowna's AM 1150 every Friday just after the 8:30 news break. And you can also hear me on Shane Hewitt and the Night Shift, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Toronto's News Talk 1010, found on the iHeartRadio network. You can also get all of those episodes wherever you get your favorite podcast. And that does it for us. We've emptied out our list for this week. So until next week, bye-bye.